Hi, hope you all are well today. Today on the menu, I am going to be doing a really familiar plate or dish to Barbados, and it's called cuckoo. And with it today, I'm going to be using saltfish for my gravy, so it's going to be a saltfish gravy. Now for your gravy, which I'm going to start first because you want to do the gravy first, I've got skinless cod. Make sure that when you go into the supermarket, you check first to make sure that you're buying cod and not pollock or another fish that is not genuinely cod. I've got a tablespoon of butter. I've got one whole large tomato. I've got my thyme, quarter green pepper, which I've chopped up. I have got one clove of garlic, which I chopped up really finely, and a whole large onion, which I did as well. I've also got some ketchup, which I'm going to put into my gravy, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper. I've got two types of salt today, so you can use your low salt or normal table salt. And for my cuckoo, I'm going to be using cornmeal. You can find this in any Caribbean shop, any Asian shop, any supermarket. It's always there now. Okra. Have you ever seen okra? They call them lady fingers as well. You have to get those. I'm going to be cutting up about 10 of those today. I'll show you that after. And I've got 2 spoons. This spoon is called a cuckoo stick. See it? And also, I've got my wooden spoon. I'm going to be using my wooden spoon today because I find it easier, but back in the Caribbean, they use the cuckoo stick. And a little, I'm going to put some of this Bajan pepper sauce in my gravy. The first thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this codfish into that water, and I'm going to squeeze this lime inside, and that will take out some of the salt. So that's what I'm going to do now. So my saltfish has been boiling. I'm going to actually take that and I'm going to drain the water out, and I'm going to fill it again with some fresh water to take out a bit more of the salt. That's what I'm going to be doing next. And a minute ago you saw the okras. I've cut them up really finely. So that's what you do. I said 10. You can, it's up to you. Some people want more. If you like more okras, could be 12, 10 to 12 I would put in there. So I've chopped it up really finely. Yeah, so as I said before, as you can see, it's clearer, the water. I've changed the water and I let it boil a little bit more, and then I'm going to drain it off, get the saltfish, and I'm going to shred it, and that's how I'm going to begin to make the gravy. So that's, you'll see that coming up next. So that was 200 grams of that salted cod. I've shredded it down, and I'm now about to put that into the frying pan to make the gravy, saltfish gravy for my cuckoo. Whilst that's happening, I've got 4 cups of water here boiling, and I'm going to now add my okras. Okay, so you can add that, and I'm going to put some salt in there. Okay, so now that pan should be hot enough. I'm going to put the salt cod in there and let it fry off. You want it to get a little bit golden, but not too brown. So keep it going and let that get really little browning on there. And now it's time to add the rest of my ingredients. The onion, stir that in, with the garlic, so all of that has gone in together. And I'm also going to add in a minute. I'd rather that brown off a little bit as well. It's not quite brown. You add your onions, tomatoes, sorry. You add your tomatoes, whatever you want to call those. And that lovely scotch bonnet goes in there. I'm going to stir that. Look at the colour. Keep stirring. Again, it holds just for flavour, guys. Just for the flavour. And I put the other ingredients in there. Really important. Keep stirring that. And actually the tomatoes will give it a little bit of juice. Now you don't need to, but I love me a little bit of Bajan pepper sauce. I actually love it. So I'm going to stir it. Can you see? Just a little bit. It's less than half a teaspoon, so that's actually quite spicy as well, but I love it. Stir that in. And next, stir in some ketchup. Got about a tablespoon ketchup. Put that in. It gives it a quite nice zingy taste as well. Okay, what you haven't seen is that I've added half a teaspoon of black pepper and a teaspoon of the all-purpose. So that's what I've just done to that. And now I've added my butter. If you are not partial to butter, you don't need to put that in. And the final thing I'm going to add now to that is my 1 cup of water. Okay, so you're going to let that cook on low heat until your onions and it's all cooked down to a nice, it brings out the flavor. I'm going to show you something quickly while that's happening. Make sure that whilst you're cooking this that you keep an eye on it, because the okras have a mind of their own and they will boil over if you don't. So I'm turning that down, so always keep an eye on that. Okay, there you go. I've taken out the okra water and I'm now going to be using that to get out all of this. I want all of the okras out because all I'm going to be using is the water to begin with. So I'm putting it in another bowl to the side. So now I've taken the pot away and I've got in here 2 cups of the cornmeal, a half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to add a cup of water in there. And I'm going to mix that up and I'm going to show you what it should look like. Okay, so this is the consistency that you want. You don't want it too wet and you don't want it too dry anymore. And with that, you are going to take some of your water, the plain water with this is the okra water. You put it in there and you're going to let that steam. So I'm going to put that onto the stove, medium heat, and I'm not going to stir and stir, but I'm going to let it start cooking on its own, and then I will keep stirring it. You'll see at the end what it should look like. So I'm just going to keep stirring it. Not a lot of stirring, so you don't want it to get too many lumps. And as soon as you see it dry out again, not too dry, you're going to keep adding some water. So you keep adding water every time the mixture gets too dry. Let me see if I turn the light off, if that would be different. Yeah, I think maybe that's different. And that's better for you. Okay, so it's dried out. And I'm going to add again the water. And all I'm letting that do is steam. Not a lot of stirring, because that's how you would get all of your lump. So let it steam there and just keep adding your water. Okay, as I said, folks, I'm still adding about half of a cup of the okra water each time, and I'm just letting it steam, not stirring a lot because I don't want it to be too lumpy. And ever so often when the water goes out, I'm going to give it the stir that it deserves. Okay, this is a one-man show. I'm holding the spoon and I'm stirring at the same time. Can you see that? It's cooking. The consistency is a lot different, and I'm just doing that, and I'm going to let it steam a little bit more. The water is almost gone, and I'm going to keep adding my water. Okay, as you can see, it's almost complete. Just that little bit of the water left over, and now I'm going to add the okras, and I'm going to stir them in gently so that they cover the whole and permeates through the whole of this meal. I'll do that and I'll get back to you. So I'm now, I can see the okra all the way through there. I'm going to add a little bit more. And one tip my nanny used to say to me is, you'll know it's almost finished, or you'll know it's cooked, when it begins to sing. And I think I can hear it singing a tune right now. So yes, it's nearly finished. I'm about to plate this up now. Another tip you'll see when I plate it up, I put some butter in a dish. You don't have to. You can use the water from the okra to put in here. And another tip from my nanny, I'm going to show you when I plate it up. It will look all nice and round because I'm going to put it in this bowl and I'm going to swish it around and it will turn it into a nice ball or sphere. Right back at you with my finished product. This is my Bajan cuckoo with saltfish. There's my scotch bonnet, still whole, but lots of flavour in my gravy. And no Bajan cuckoo is complete without a bit of cucumber and avocado salad, pear we call it back home. But yes, thank you for watching again, and I hope that you get the chance to make your own Bajan cuckoo. Keep stirring and listen for that singing at the end. Bye, guys.